Hello friends, I am Dr. Madhukar Jadhav. In previous lecture, we have seen measurement of horizontal angle by direction method or by retraction method. Also, we have seen measurement of vertical angle. In this lecture, we are going to study measurement of deflection angle, then prolonging a given survey line, then permanent adjustment and fundamental lines of theodolite. So, starting with measurement of deflection angle. Now, deflection angle is the angle which a survey line made with prolongation of preceding line. So, here this is AB line, then BC line and say CD line. So, A to B is this direction, then B to C is this direction, and if we extend line AB like this, then the angle made by this line with this line is called as angle of deflection. This angle is called as angle of deflection. Now, to measure the angle of deflection, what we have to do? We have to set the telluride at point say B. Then we have to level it properly, we have to center it properly. Then by losing the lower plate clamping screw, we have to direct the telescope in this line, that is B dash line. Then clamp the telescope sight B dash accurately. Then lose the upper plate and then turn the telescope clockwise to sight the ranging rod at point C. Sight C accurately, then measure vernier A and B. So, vernier A will give directly value of deflection angle, say R1. Similarly, to measure the deflection angle at this point, we have to set the theodolite at point C, and the same procedure we have to repeat. So, in this way, whatever the different deflection angles required, that we have to measure. So, this is measurement of deflection angle with the help of theodolite. Then next one, measurement of magnetic bearing of a line. As we have seen, in case of prismatic compass, we can measure the magnetic bearing of different lines. Now, this theodolite can also be used for measurement of magnetic bearings of survey line. So, for this purpose, set up the instrument over A and level it accurately. Suppose this is line AB, for which we want to measure the magnetic bearing. Magnetic bearing is nothing but it is the angle made by survey line with north direction. So, for this, first of all, set the instrument at point A, center it properly and level it properly. Second step is set the vernier A to 0 degree, 0 minutes and 0 second. Then release the magnetic needle and lose the lower plate clamping screw. Third step is release the magnetic needle and lose the lower plate clamping screw. Fourth step is rotate the instrument until magnetic needle points towards north direction. Now clamp the lower plate with the help of lower plate tangent screw. And next one, bring the needle exactly against the north mark in order to bring the magnetic needle towards the north direction or towards the meridian direction. At this stage, the line of sight of the theodolite is oriented towards the magnetic meridian or towards the north direction. After this, lose the upper plate clamping screw. When the telescope is towards the north direction, then what we have to do? loose the upper plate clamping screw and turn the telescope clockwise like this to sight the ranging rod at point B. Sight point B accurately and then we can say clamp the upper plate, and then record both the verniers, vernier A and vernier B, and vernier A directly will give the bearing of line AB, while vernier B will give the back bearing of line AB. Then next step is change the face and repeat the same procedure. The mean of the two face readings will give the accurate value of bearing of line AB. So this is the procedure for measuring magnetic bearing of a survey line with theodolite. Then next one, prolonging a given straight line. Theodolite can also be used for prolonging a straight line. Now there are two methods. First method is called as foresight method and the second method is called as backsight method. So we will see these two methods one by one. Suppose line AB is there and this line AB we want to prolong up to Z point. So for this the procedure is like this. Step 1, set up the theodolite at point A. So we have to set the theodolite at point A and level it accurately, center it accurately. Then bisect the point B. After centering and after leveling, what we have to do? Bisect the point B correctly. Then establish a point C in the line beyond B. So we will get this point in line of the telescope at C. So we have extended the line AB up to C. By looking over the top of the telescope and accurately by sighting through the telescope. Then shift the instrument or theodolite to point B. So in first case our instrument is at A, we have sighted B, and in line with we have set the point C, means the line is extended up to C. After that what we have to do? We have to shift the instrument from A to point B. Shift the instrument to point B and level it properly. Then take a foresight on C, or what we can say, after centering and leveling the instrument at point B, sight the ranging rod at point C, or we can say take the foresight on C and establish point D in line beyond C. So we have to establish this point and we have to repeat the process until the last point Z is established. So in this way we have to prolong the line maybe up to say 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer, depending upon the length of survey line. So this method is called as foresight method, means from first point we are sighting B, then from B we are sighting C, from C we are sighting D, and in front of that points we are establishing the point, say here, then after here, here, and the last point is Z. So in this way we can prolong the straight line as per the requirement. Then second method is called as backsight method for prolongation of a straight line. Now in this, set up the instrument at point B and level it accurately. See, in the first method, that is foresight method, we have set the instrument at point A, but in backsight method what we have to do? We have to set the instrument at point B and we have to level it accurately and take the backsight on A, means by plunging the telescope what we have to do? We have to sight the ranging rod at point A. Then next step, tighten the upper plate and lower plate, transit the telescope, means we have to rotate the telescope about its horizontal axis and we have to take the reversing. Transit the telescope and establish point C. So, when we change the direction, see our direction of telescope is towards A, by reversing the direction is in this direction. So, what we have to do? We have to establish point C beyond B like this. Then shift the theodolite to C and take the backside on B by transiting. And then again we have to take the reversing and we have to establish point D in front of C. So, in this way, by taking the backside and reversing the theodolite, we have to establish different point till the last point is reached. So, in this way we can extend line AB up to Z. Now, in this, if the instrument is in adjustment, then A, B, C, D up to Z will be a one straight line. But if the instrument is not in adjustment, then we will get a small error, that is, instead of getting C, we will get C dash. Instead of getting D, we will get D dash. Okay. Then next one, permanent adjustment of theodolite. A theodolite consists of several fundamental lines, or we can say several fundamental axes. In order the reading to be accurate, certain desired relationship must exist between the fundamental lines of the theodolite, but due to improper handling or excessive use of the instrument, this relationship may be disturbed and hence from the theodolite may lead to enormous result, and for that purpose we have to do the permanent adjustment of the theodolite. Now we have to see the fundamental axis of the theodolite or fundamental lines of the theodolite. So, first fundamental line is the vertical axis of the instrument, second one the axis of plate level, third one the line of collimation, then fourth one the horizontal axis or Trunnion axis, and fifth one the bubble line axis, or it is also called as the altitude level axis. Now we will see the relationship between these lines. So, first relationship, the axis of plate level must be perpendicular to the vertical axis. So, when this relationship not exists, then we can say that the permanent adjustment of theodolite is disturbed. First relationship. Second one, the line of collimation should coincide with the optical axis of the telescope and should also be perpendicular to the vertical axis. So, this is the second relationship. Third one, the axis of telescope must be parallel to the line of collimation. Fourth relationship, the line of collimation must be perpendicular to the horizontal axis. And last one, the vertical axis should read 0 when the line of collimation is horizontal. That vertical circle must read 0 when the line of collimation is horizontal. So, all these relationships should exist in a theodolite while taking the reading. If any one relationship is disturbed, then whatever the horizontal angles and vertical angles which we have measured, they will not be a accurate one or they will not be a correct one. So, this is all about this lecture. Thanks.